Yellow school buses are the safest means of ground transportation for Missouri school students. Each year in Missouri, there are nearly 12,000 school buses that travel over 125 million miles, transporting more than 500,000 students each school day. This safe transportation is aided by training provided to the students and to the school bus drivers. An important part of student training is teaching the students how to safely evacuate the school bus in case of an emergency. The State Board of Education regulation on the operation of school buses specifies that emergency evacuation drills on school buses shall be required for all students in grades kindergarten through 6 at least once per semester. The first drill must be completed annually prior to October 31st. The Public School District Board of Education shall prescribe emergency evacuation drill requirements for all other students. An important part of school bus driver training required by each school district is to teach school bus drivers, as required by the State Board of Education regulation, to thoroughly perform and prepare written documentation of the daily pre-trip inspection which is to be submitted to the Transportation Administrator. Pre-trip inspection of vehicles shall include brakes, steering components, lights, signaling devices, emergency door, tires, and safety equipment as a minimum. School bus evacuation drills teach students their roles and their responsibilities during an emergency. Pre-trip inspections teach school bus drivers the important elements that make up a daily pre-trip inspection to identify any defects or deficiencies that may affect the safe operation of the school bus or result in a mechanical breakdown during the route. School buses have the elite title of being the safest means of ground transportation because of the extensive training provided to both the student riders and the school bus drivers. This video has been created to aid in both of these important training areas.
The need to conduct school bus evacuation and practice drills is an essential part of providing for a safe transportation for all students who ride the bus. This must be accomplished quickly, safely, and in an orderly manner. Evacuation drills should be conducted at least once per semester for students K through 6, with the first drill prior to October 31st, and both drills should be properly documented. There are several reasons for the emergency evacuation of a school bus, and practicing the drills will allow for the student and the driver to remain calm during a true emergency. There are 3 situations that require evacuating a bus. First, fire. Stop and evacuate the bus immediately if the engine or any portion of the bus is on fire. Move passengers 100 feet or more from the bus and do not allow them to return until the danger is past. Second, danger of fire. If the bus is near an existing fire, gasoline, or other combustible material and unable to move, students should be evacuated. Third, if the bus is in an unsafe position. If a bus is stopped by an accident, mechanical failure, road conditions, or human failure, determine if it is safer for the passengers to remain on the bus or to evacuate. Evacuate if the bus is in a path of a train or adjacent to tracks, or the position of the bus is dangerous. For example, the bus is in a position where it could still move and go into water or over a cliff. It should be evacuated. Or evacuate if the bus is in danger of a collision, especially if the bus is positioned over a hill or around a curve where it cannot be seen for 300 feet. Evacuate in a manner which affords maximum safety for the students. There are several important factors to be considered for a school bus evacuation. The safety of children is of utmost importance and must be the first consideration. Prior to evacuation, the bus's emergency brakes should be set. If the possibility of a fire exists, then the ignition should be turned off and the transmission placed in an appropriate gear. When possible, the driver should stay in the bus during evacuation to guarantee smoothness of evacuation procedures. Evacuation should be conducted with deliberate speed. A time interval of 1.5 to 2 seconds per passenger has proven to be the safest and most efficient. To ensure a safe exit, passengers must have their hands free. They should leave lunch boxes, books, and other personal belongings on the bus. Drivers should carry the first aid kit and the IEP folder for special needs students if time permits. Passengers trained and selected in advance should be assigned to serve as leaders who will lead passengers to safety from each door utilized for evacuation. Passengers should be directed to a safe point at least 100 feet or 3 bus lengths from the bus and remain there until given further directions. Helpers can be chosen from responsible students who should be stationed to aid passengers as they leave the bus through the rear emergency exit when necessary. Drivers traveling on athletic trips or any other field trip should conduct a pre-trip safety briefing to their passengers. The following information should be covered prior to the start of the trip. Drivers should introduce themselves and call attention to and point out the emergency exits with an explanation of how the exit functions during an emergency. The exits include the 2 roof hatches, 4 of the side windows, and the rear and front windows. Students should be encouraged to remain calm at all times and to move quickly to evacuate the bus and to assemble in a centralized area so all students can be located. Advise students that the main reason to evacuate a school bus is for fire, danger of fire, stuck on a railroad track, or getting hit by another vehicle or any other unsafe condition. It is important to keep the aisles clear. Students should be reminded that the school bus is the safest form of ground transportation due to the design of the bus. Compartmentalization only works if students are seated and facing forward. There are 3 common types of school bus emergency evacuation drills. First, the front door. Stop the bus, set the parking brake, turn off the engine, and secure the key. Stand, face the children, and get their attention. Give the instructions. Emergency drill, remain seated, front door evacuation. Advise your leader to guide passengers to a safe location. Front door evacuations should be conducted using right-left alternating method from front to the back of the bus. This unloading procedure can be practiced during routine unloading. Check bus to be sure everyone is out. Next, rear door evacuation. The emergency door is located in the rear of the bus. To open the door, lift the red handle and push outward. Duck your head and bend your knees as you hit the ground. Then move away from the bus quickly. The driver should point out the location of the emergency door and demonstrate opening procedures. Stop the bus, set the parking brake, turn off engine, and secure the key. Stand, face the children, and get their attention. Give the instructions. Emergency drill. Remain seated. Rear door evacuation. The driver should direct pre-assigned leaders and helpers to take their positions. Passengers should remain in their seats until directed by the driver to leave the bus. Begin with the front seat on right side, alternating right, left, etc. When the last seat is empty, walk the entire length of the bus to be sure everyone is out. Also, there are front and rear door evacuations. Stop the bus, set the parking brake, turn off the engine, and secure the key. Stand, face the children, and get their attention. Give the instructions. Emergency drill, remain seated, front and rear door evacuation. Front and rear door evacuations will be rare. If this type of evacuation is conducted, the driver must direct students to the proper exit. Students using the front door will follow front door evacuation procedures. Students using the rear door will follow the rear door evacuation procedure. Keep in mind, many buses are equipped with pop-out windows and vents. Pop-out windshields may also be used during evacuation. Rear door exits may have safety latches to hold doors open. Proper release is required to prevent damage to the bus or the door. It is important to remember that evacuation drills are necessary to provide both the driver and the students with the confidence to manage any emergency on the school bus. I would like to thank everyone for watching this video.